Milkman, Mr. Milktastic, back at you again. And I gotta say, I feel kind of got it. So had a little downtime. Washed the clothes the other day, folded the clothes today for the make up the bed and try to get a nap in. But I wanted to get some more of this word in me because I feel like peace and joy comes from God. So you can't look for the peace and joy. And I mean, certain people could bring you peace or joy, but basically you want to be able to be alone and be happy and embrace the silence and just be happy with God and the blessing that you're still alive. So we're going to get into some word. We're going to get into some word because I feel like I know that I neglected my workout. I neglected this word. So we're going to get into this word right now. Okay, I think we did this chapter. So we on Deuteronomy chapter 11, rewards of obedience. You shall therefore love the Lord your God and always keep his charge, his statutes, his ordinances, and his commandments. Know this day that I am not speaking with your son who have not known and who have not seen. Who have not known and have not seen the discipline of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his outstretched arm, and his signs and his works which he did in the midst of Egypt to Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and to all his land, and what he did to Egypt's army, to his horses, and to his chariots, when he made the water of the Red Sea to engulf them while they were pursuing you. And the Lord completely destroyed them, and what he did to you in the wilderness until you came to this place, and what he did to Dathan and Abiram and the sons of Elib, the sons of Reuben, when the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them, their household, their tents, and everything, every living thing that followed them among all Israel. But your own eyes have seen all the great work of the Lord which he did. You shall therefore keep every commandment which I commanding you today, so that you may be strong and go in and possess the land into which you are about to cross to possess, so that you may prolong your days on the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give to them and to their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land into which you are entering to possess it is not like the land of Egypt from which you came, where you used to sow your seed and water it with your foot like a vegetable garden. But the land into which you are about to cross to possess it, a land of hills and valleys, drink waters from the rain of heaven, a land for which the Lord your God cares. The eyes of the Lord your God are always on it, from the beginning even to the end of the year. It shall come about, if you listen obediently to my commandment, which I am commanding you today, to love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and all your soul, that he will give the rain for your land in its seasons, the early and the late rain, that you may gather in your grain and your new wine and your oil. He will give grass in your fields for your cattle, and you will eat and be satisfied. Beware that your hearts are not deceived, and that you do not turn away and serve other gods and worship them, or the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you, and he shall shut up the heavens, so there will be no rain, and the ground will not yield its fruits, and you will perish quickly from the good land which the Lord is giving you. You shall therefore impress these words of mine on your heart and on your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as a frontal on your forehead. You shall teach them to your sons, talking of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk along the road, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that your days and the days of your sons may be multiplied on the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give them, as long as the heavens remain above the earth. For if you are careful to keep all the commandments which I am commanding you to do, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and hold fast to him, then the Lord will drive out all these nations before you, and you will dispossess nations greater and mightier than you. Every place on which your sole of your foot treads shall be yours. Your border will be from the wilderness to Lebanon, and from the river to the river Euphrates, as far as the western sea. No man will be able to stand before you. The Lord your God will lay the dread of you and fear of you on all the land of which you set foot, as he has spoken to you. See, I am setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing, if you listen to the commandment of the Lord your God, which I am commanding you today, and the curse, if you do not listen to the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside from the way which I commanded you today, by following other gods which you have not known. It shall come about when the Lord your God brings you into the land where you are entering to possess it, that you shall place the blessing on Mount Gerizim. Mount Gerizim. Gerizim. And the curse, and that is chapter 11, verse 29. And the curse on Mount Ebal, and they not across, are they not across the Jordan west of the way toward the sunset, in the land of the Canaanites who lived in the Araba, opposite Gilgal, besides the oaks of Morah? For you are about to cross the Jordan to go and to possess the land which your Lord your God is giving you, and you shall possess it and live in it, and you shall be careful to do all the statutes and judgments which I am setting before you today. So that is the chapter of the day, chapter 11, but I feel like we need to read a little bit more, because, yeah, let's read some more. I need to get closer to God. God needs to be upon me. I need the spirit of sadness, depressedness, brokenness, unhappiness to go away out of my life in Jesus' name. Chapter 12, Laws of the Sanctuary. These are the statutes and the judgments which you shall carefully observe in the land which the Lord your God of your father has given you to possess. As long as you live on the earth, you shall utterly destroy all the places where the nations whom you shall dispossess serve their gods, on the high mountains and on the hills, and under every green tree. You shall tear down their altars and smash their scarred pillars and burn their asherams with fire, and you shall cut down the engraved images of their gods and obliterate their names from that place. You shall not act like this toward the Lord your God, but you shall seek the Lord your God. Seek the Lord at a place which the Lord your God will choose from all your tribes to establish his name, there for his dwelling, and there you shall come. There you shall bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, the contribution of your hand, your votive of offering, your freewill offering, and your firstborn of your herd and of your flock. There also you and your household shall eat before the Lord your God, and rejoice in all your undertakings in which the Lord your God has blessed you. You shall not do at all what we are doing here today, every man doing whatever is right in his own eyes. For you have not as yet come to the resting place and the inheritance which the Lord your God is giving you. When you cross the Jordan and live in the land which the Lord your God is giving you to inherit, and he gives you rest from all your enemies around you, so that you live in security, Then it shall come about that the place in which the Lord your God will choose for his name to dwell, there you shall bring all that I command you, your burnt offering, your sacrifices, your tithes, and your contributions of your hand, and all your choice votive offering which you will vow to the Lord, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you and your sons and your daughters, your male and your female servants, and the Levite who is within your gates, since he has no portion or inheritance with you. Be careful that you do not offer your burnt offerings in every cultic place you see, but in the place which the Lord chooses in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offering, and there you shall do all that I command you. However, you may slaughter and eat meat within any of your gates, whatever you desire, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as of the gazelle and the deer. Only you shall not eat the blood. You are to pour it out on the ground like water. You are not allowed to eat within your gates the tithe of your grain or new wine or oil or the firstborn of your herd or flock or any of your votive offerings which you vow, or your free will offerings, or the contribution of your hand. But you shall eat them before the Lord your God in the place which the Lord your God will choose, you and your son and daughters, and your male and female servants, and the Levite who is within your gates, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God in all your undertaking. Be careful that you do not forsake the Levite as long as you live in your land. When the Lord your God extends your border as he has promised you, and you say, I will eat meat because you desire to eat meat, then you may eat meat, whatever you desire. If the place which the Lord your God chooses to put his name is too far from you, then you may slaughter of your herd and the flock which the Lord has given you, as I have commanded you, and you may eat within your gates wherever you desire, just as a gazelle or a deer eat, and so you will eat. The unclean and the clean alike may eat of it. Only be sure not to eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the flesh. You shall not eat it. You shall pour it on the ground like water. You shall not eat it, so that it may be well with you and your sons after you. For you will be doing what is right in the sight of the Lord. Only your holy things which you may have and your voting offering you shall take and go to the place which the Lord chooses, and you shall offer your burnt offerings in the flesh and the blood on the altar of the Lord your God, and the blood of your sacrifice shall be poured on the altar of the Lord your God, and you shall eat the flesh. Be careful to listen to all these words which I command you, so that it may be well with you and your sons after you forever, for you will be doing what is good and right in the sight of the Lord your God. When the Lord your God cuts off before you the nations which you are going in to dispossess, and you dispossess them and dwell in their land, beware that you are not ensnared to follow them after they are destroyed before you, and that you do not inquire after their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods, that it may also do likewise? How do these nations serve their gods, that I also may do likewise? Now you got to catch that one. I got to back that one up. This is verse 29. When the Lord your God cuts off before you the nations which you are going in to dispossess, and you dispossess them and dwell in their land, beware that you are not ensnared to follow them after they are destroyed before you, and that you do not inquire after their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their God, that I also may do likewise? You shall not behave towards the Lord your God, for every abominable act which the Lord hates they have done for their gods, for they even burn their sons and daughters in the fire for their gods, to their gods. Whatever I command you shall be careful to do. You shall not add nor take away from it. Say a command. So that was 2 chapters of the Bible, and I'm starting to feel even more tired. And they gave me a red light now, so it's gonna be a green light soon. Here, we're gonna get into some financial IQ too. Searching for parking. Gotta unplug her sometimes. She get talkative like that. Just gotta unplug her. Okay, I can't remember where we was at. So we're gonna start from the top of this page, and it says government safety net, NETS, nets, government safety nets. The lack of a secure financial future led to Social Security and Medicare government safety nets created to solve financial problems for people who do not know how to solve their own problems. Both plans are bankrupt. Medicare is operating in the red. Social Security will soon be operating in the red. In 2008, the first of 78 million baby boomers began to retire, and most of them do not have enough retirement income to survive on. According to the U.S. government, the obligation for Social Security are approximately 10 trillion, and the obligation for Medicare is 64 trillion. If these numbers are accurate, that means the 74 trillion owed to retirees by the U.S. government is more money than all the money available in the world stock market. This is a big problem that needs financial intelligence to solve. Throwing more money at the problem will only make it worse. It may even collapse the entire system of funding money, sending the dollar closer to zero. Why the rich get richer. The rules of money change, and those changes make you poorer. The rules of money change. That those changes make you poor and that they are out of your control may seem unfair. And it is. The key to becoming rich is to recognize that the system is unfair. Learn the rules and use them to your advantage. This takes financial intelligence. Financial intelligence can only be achieved by solving financial problems. Rich Dad said, the rich get richer because they learn to solve financial problems. The rich see financial problems as opportunities to learn, to grow, to become smarter, and to become richer. The rich know that the higher the financial IQ, the bigger the problem they can handle. Hence, the more money they make, instead of running, avoiding, or pretending money problems do not exist, the rich welcome financial problems because they know that the problems are opportunities to become smarter. So we should recognize those problems too and don't run from your money problems. Solve them. That is why we get richer. That is why they get richer. How the poor handle money problems. When it comes to describing the poor, Rich Dad said, the poor see money problems only as problems. Many feel they are victims of money. Many feel they are the only ones with money problems. They think that if they had more money, their money problems would be over. Little do they know that their attitude towards money problems is the problem. Their attitudes creates their money problem. Their inability to solve or avoidance of them only prolongs their money problem and makes them bigger. Instead of becoming richer, they become poorer. Instead of increasing their financial IQ, the only thing the poor increases their financial problems. How the middle class handle money problems. While the poor are victims of money, the middle class are prisoners of money. In describing the middle class, Rich Dad said the middle class solve their money problems differently. Instead of solving the money problem, they think they can't outsmart their money problems. The middle class will spend money to go to school so they can get a secure job. Most are smart enough to earn money and put up a firewall, a buffer zone between them and their money problems. They buy a house, commute to work, play it safe, climb the corporate ladder, and save for retirement by buying stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They believe their academic or professional education is enough to insulate them from a cruel, harsh world of money. Not really. At the age of 50, said Rich Dad, many middle-aged people discover that they are a prisoner in their own office. Many are valued employees. They have experience, they earn enough money, and have enough job security, yet deep down they know they are trapped financially, and they lack the financial intelligence to escape from their office prison. They look forward to surviving 15 more years when at age 60 they can retire and then begin to live on a linear budget, of course. Rich Dad said the middle class think they outsmart their money problems by being smart academically and professionally. Most lack financial education, which is why most tend to value financial security rather than take on financial challenges. Instead of becoming entrepreneurs, they work. Instead of becoming entrepreneurs, they work for entrepreneurs. Instead of investing, they turn their money over to financial experts to manage their money. Instead of increasing their financial IQ, they stay busy hiding in their office. So don't stay busy hiding in your office. Increase your financial IQ. And if you ain't getting nothing else from that, I hope you got something else from that. All right, so that's me tapping in. Like I say, man, I'm trying to tap in every day, but it's just so happened to be going through some things when I started tapping in with y'all. I'm just trying not to harp on and just go forward. It just ain't easy. But God is good. God is great. God is good. God is great, and the paper is great. So right now, that's the main thing. I just think like, just gotta stay focused. So y'all stay focused out there. Keep it in between the lines. I'm gonna try to grab me an hour or two of sleep, cause I need it in my life. All right, peace out.